we will call the 1928 Building Committee to order. Let's go with Pledge of Allegiance. Joe?
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Any public comment? No? Devin, anyone online?
Seen a couple people online, but no hands raised. So give it another minute.
Yep.
We're all set.
Okay, thank you. Agenda item D, the minutes. I need a motion for the April 9th minutes.
So moved. Second.
Any changes, comments? Okay, we'll vote on all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item E, correspondence from Jennifer DuPont.
Yeah,
Kathy?
you have the correspondence. She was asking about changing the front of the 1928 building. We did respond. I think there was just maybe some confusion that we really aren't changing the front and the cupola. So we did respond to her.
Okay, that's good. Yes, no changes to the front of the building. Okay, we'll go to reports. F1, chair report, we probably give a little 3-month look ahead. Do we have the schedule? Possibly we can, oh, it looks like it's already there. Yes. Yep. All right. Why is it not in my packet? Oh, there it is.
It's on the back.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it. Okay, Chris, do you want to go through some milestones that we're going to do for the next 3 months on your end?
Yes. So currently the documents are with the third-party reviewer as well as the commissioning agent for review. So whenever we get their comments back, we'll respond and then incorporate anything that needs to be into the documents. So that would be over the next month's time roughly. In June, well, it's an agenda item later regarding potential separation of the site civil package. So if we were to separate the two packages, we are recommending to put the civil out to bid as soon as possible, just so you have those numbers in hand well in advance of the full bid packages. Otherwise, incorporating the third party and commissioning comments, it's really waiting until likely early July to put this out to bid, and that's more to align with the demolition of the existing high school than anything. We don't want to ask the bidders to hold their numbers for too long, especially in this climate. They're tentative to do so, and you may get some inflated prices. So putting it out to bid in July feels appropriate to align with the high school project.
Okay, excellent. Kathy?
Peter, just so we can, just for the public, a couple other things that have been going on this month, that we did receive our vault approval. We did have our VE meeting, and we're going to talk about that later on. And we are still very much coordinating with the Farmington High School Building Committee.
Okay. And we'll say that item, the communication for later,
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
next item. Okay. We will then go to F2. Joe, anything on the council side?
Just that we had our budget referendum passed 2-1, so we're good to go.
Excellent. Okay, Chris, on the FHS building committee?
It's been relatively quiet. We had last night on the 17th, not much to report from that meeting, other than approving some hazardous material monitoring services, ongoing coordination, obviously with this project, but all I can say is on time and on schedule, and on budget. So we're going well.
Excellent. Okay. Value
We'll
engineering.
be meeting just for public tomorrow night, and we'll be having a tour. Speaking of which, having a tour, and I'd like to thank Joey for putting some pictures on Facebook of this project because it looked beautiful.
It's coming together really
It
nice.
is. Yeah, it really is. They're out there.
Excellent. Value engineering, we met last week, and I like to say right now that at this point, we are on budget and a little below budget. And we will still have to meet again after we initially get some of the bids potentially come back, but that won't be until probably early July,
We put it out to bid
Bid.
in early July, we'd get the bids back
Bid.
early August.
August, yep. So to be determined, but right now we are on tact and in budget for this project. Okay, communications.
Nothing to report at
Nothing to
this time.
report. Okay. Interior design and finishes. We have anything on
We
that?
just have one thing, Chris, maybe we can just show, do you want to show? the,
Yeah, you want me to go down there?
Yeah,
Or maybe Devin could hold them up.
yeah,
Thanks, Devin.
thanks, Devin.
So the darker carpet, the rectangular piece was what was presented at the last interior design subcommittee meeting. Thank you, Devin.
Really?
And you asked us to go back and pick a lighter carpet without as many dark tones. And these are for the office areas primarily. So this is the revised carpet selection for your review and approval.
Not gonna show any wear,
Excellent.
really.
And that's been approved by the interior design
Yeah.
group, correct?
We don't really have, we could just approve it up here,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
the change. The interior design group didn't like to our left, didn't like that one, so
Right.
Chris was bringing another one for us. And I think, the one on the
Yeah.
right is much better, in my opinion.
Oh, yes, I would agree with that.
So
So
consensus. that-
consensus, any insight, Chris?
No, I like
You're-
the one on the right. No,
All right,
I
you're-
like the lighter color.
Your taste is impeccable.
I'm redoing the kitchen right now. I guess I'm in the interior design mode, yes.
Why don't you- why don't you-
Jack?
I think it's nice carpet.
Okay, Joseph?
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it too. Dan,
Yeah,
how
fine.
do you like the colors?
Beautiful. I'm gonna take a swatch of my house. Thank you.
All right, looks like we have a unanimous consensus on the right-hand sample. Excellent. The professional partnership subcommittee, anything on that, or
Nothing.
nothing on? Yeah, no,
No, they haven't been meeting, but just as a side, we had kickoff meetings with the professional partners that we've brought on board for the commissioning agent and third-party review. So those are in good shape.
excellent. And Kathy, the financials.
Okay. We have- Sure.
I don't think we have any, for the financial report.
Yeah.
Is that part of the invoices
Yeah,
we're
that's
headed
what-
toward?
yeah, that's to be.
All right, so we'll
yeah.
just, all right, so we'll take that up under new business then. Okay, G1, I need a motion to approve some invoices.
So moved for item G1.
Second.
Oh.
And this is silver for 33,280,000.
To Silver and Petroselli.
Yep.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor state by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Okay, motion passes. G2 for me, Joe.
Yes, I make a motion to approve the construction document, cost estimate and list of alternates.
Second.
Any discussion? Didn't we have a new handout on that?
Yeah, so we have two things. You have a handout in the packet, and then I think we went and we delivered a handout, which should be in color at your places. And,
We don't have that. Where's
No,
that one?
oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna hand
As
it out
I
over
would.
here. We haven't handed it out yet.
Thank you.
No, thanks.
So as Kat is handing that out,
Thanks, Kevin.
as you remember that Peter said earlier, we have a new cost estimate and our value engineering group had met and we were about, I think, $100,000
Under,
under budget. Chris is gonna go through maybe what's in the packet first,
Sure.
and then the committee did make some recommendations for some add alternates. And so you can go through that, show our add alternates, but one thing I think that's really great is that we're still on with our cost estimate, we're under budget.
Under
So
budget.
that's really good. So Chris, if you want to go through that, and then we'll go through the second one and we'll talk about the site work and what
Okay.
we're recommending there.
Yeah, so item G2 in your packet, which is the black and white version, is the full project scope, broken down almost by division of construction, or at least summaries of major construction items at the top. And so those are your hard construction costs, which subtotals 13,323,891. We're also carrying a contingency of about $350,000, which is for exterior repairs to the building. So the approach that we're recommending is to ask the bidding contractors for unit prices for a lot of these repair items that are more cosmetic. Anything structural or severe damage to the existing building is covered in our documents explicitly. But this 350,000 allowance is to address items like minor repointing, minor brick repairs, minor stone repairs. So we want to get those unit prices from the contractor, and that allows us the flexibility as we move through construction to know how much dollars are left in the total project budget, and then assign particular areas for repair as we get towards the end of construction. So it's just another safety net in the bidding process. But it's an adequate amount based on what we anticipate for the entirety of the exterior repairs at 350,000. So that total construction cost of 13,673,891 is roughly what we would expect on bid day from the general contractors. All the soft costs below that line item, including A&E design fees, environmental fees, third-party review and commissioning agent fees, your furniture, technology and equipment, and then your 5% of owner's contingency, which you would carry into construction for change orders. Those total soft costs equate to the 2.2 roughly $1 million number, which brings us to the total estimated project cost of $15,886,057. So as Kathy said, we're showing about 100,000 under budget based on this estimate. And in discussion with the VE subcommittee, we identified two alternates to include in the bid documents. One is a deduct alternate, which is to eliminate the metal stud replacement at existing exterior envelope. So currently our bid documents show at the inside face of all the exterior walls to remove the existing sheetrock, the existing metal studs, and add new metal studs, new sheetrock, new insulation. This deduct alternate would be asking the general contractors to keep the existing metal studs in place and only provide new insulation and new sheetrock. The second alternate is to provide a new generator in lieu of relocating the existing generator. So right now our bid documents and the numbers you're seeing at the top of this page include relocating that existing generator, but if dollars allow, the VE subcommittee recommended replacing with a new generator.
And that's the difference in cost?
Correct. The colored version of the estimate summary, we just removed the site work package, which is going to be discussed, I believe, as the next agenda item for potentially bidding that piece separately. And in that instance, we would expect on bid day, a general contractor bid of around $12.5 million. It doesn't change the line item or the bottom line in terms of how we're looking at these estimate summaries collectively. It was just removed in entirety from this colored page to show you what bid day numbers might be if we removed the site work.
Thanks, Chris. Any questions? Okay. So this is, we got to vote on this one to approve these two documents here, or the updated ones. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris, I'm sorry, what would you, it's the add-alts would be to replace the new generator, and what would be the other add-alt?
The other would be a deduct alternate.
Oh,
Deduct
right
right
there,
here,
the stud,
this
I'm
metal.
sorry, it's
Yep.
so little I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay,
you'd need
yeah.
a motion to approve, agenda item G2
To
as
G2.
attached.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve and agenda item G2 as attached in the packet.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion on this? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor state by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, G3, to discuss and take action on the potential of procuring site work as a separate bid. And who wants to
I
discuss
think
this? And
start at it, then maybe Russ
Then you
could.
make the motion happen.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll do the motion after.
So as you know, that the high school, the site work is being taking place. And the committee, our value engineering group and the staff have been talking. And it seems to make sense that if we take the site work out of this project and bid it separately, then potentially the bidder that's doing the site work for the high school project could competitively bid on this project at the same time. Thus, we're hoping to collect some savings. If for some reason that doesn't happen, we could then put the site work back into the general contractor and bid it out as a whole package. But I think there was a couple of reasons that were described to me why this would be a good idea. One is that the site work is being done at the high school. There's all the equipment there, so hopefully we'd get a good bid. That was the one reason. And the second reason is, and Chris or Russ can go into this in more detail, is that this project and the cost is kind of an in-between project. It's hard for small companies to bid on, and it's not big enough for big companies to bid on. So lowering the price by taking out the site work, maybe it will enable us to get more bids on the contract, because then some of these smaller contractors can bid on the overall package without the site work in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How much more I can.
Thank you.
That's exactly it.
All right,
Does the timing for the site work?
Yes.
So there'd be some stuff they would be starting right at the same time.
We coordinate everything with the demolition of the high school and the work that's required by the high school site contractor as well.
And I don't think there's any real risk for us to go out and see what we get, and then hopefully we'll get a bunch of bids for this, and, you know, potentially the bidder at the people that are doing the work at the high school will be able to bid on it and give us a competitive bid. If for some reason that doesn't happen, we could not accept bids and we can put it back in, or if it's a really good price, we can reevaluate it at that time. So really, I don't think there's any harm for us to try and see what we get.
one other thing, when would we send this out for bid?
I think Chris said now.
June first
June
was
1st.
our
June
target
first,
date.
okay, and then we give the bid process, what, 3 to 4 weeks for replies?
Correct,
Okay,
And the documentation is ready to do that?
correct.
And
And we haven't received any third-party comments that might be coming on the civil package, but I feel pretty comfortable we'd be able to address those before the June 1st date, assuming we get them back in the next week.
And we did ask them to expedite those
Correct.
comments first, because we did anticipate potentially bidding this sooner.
And is there ever any issue with like different contractors getting in each other's way or anything like that on something like this? If the site contractor isn't, part of the main package?
There's definitely going to be coordination between the GC and the site contractor, just where utilities are entering and exiting the building. I don't foresee it as a concern in the project. It's pretty separated in terms of scope.
I agree, Jack. It's just gonna take coordination, just like with any other project.
Yep.
The difference here is the site work is limited to literally be a little, just outside the building envelope and the parking lot area. Everything else is getting taken care of through the FHS project. So
That's good.
there's gonna be more coordination between, if there's a different site contractor for the 28 building as opposed to the high school. That would take more coordination than with the building contractor. Because all the utilities are going to be put into the building prior to our building contractor starting. So we'll be in good shape.
and would this contractor be involved at all potentially with the demo also, or is that a demo of the high school?
None, no,
Not
totally separate.
totally separate. Okay. All right. Okay, Joe, why don't you,
Yes, I'd like to
Do the
make a
motion.
motion to, for procuring the site work as a separate bid item for the package.
okay, we kind of discussed it. Do it a little backwards. Okay, all those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Joe, G4 form, please.
Well, this is a hard one.
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion to cancel the May 28, 2014 meeting. Second. Should we discuss this?
If you want.
4-day weekend.
Okay, that's over. All those in favor state by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None, motion carries. Other business.
Just, I think, just so Chris and for the public, so just a recap of where we are. So, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we should be very pleased that our next set of cost estimates came in $100,000 under. We're gonna bid out the site work and hopefully get some savings, more savings there. So that's happening. We're gonna do that like next month, in the next couple of weeks. We're waiting for the third party review. You're continuing working on the documents. And then we plan it to go out to bid, which we're coordinating with the high school project at the end of August, right? Is that when they're coming in?
That's when they come in.
That's
That's when we will award at the end of August.
And that's awarding the contract for the big project.
Right.
The big project, yeah.
Right.
So, and according to Chris, your overall schedule, we're following the schedule.
I don't recall, I think we had shown previously going out to bid sooner in our schedule,
Okay.
but we always knew that was contingent on what was happening with the high school demo. So, I mean, we're on schedule to align with what we need to align with.
So I think overall, we're seem
Good.
to be in very good shape.
And just on the communication side of it, when would the next town newsletter go out with the update on this? When kind of
I mean,
would that next communication go out?
I would probably say when we've started construction,
Then-
there's really not much to update until that point.
All right.
Thank you.
Hopefully then we could go out and say that the bids came in, we're on target,
Yeah.
and then we're starting the project.
Process.
Something- Even if it's something, even a simple postcard that just said, we got the bids,
We're on the website.
we're on the
Yep.
website,
The
we're
website,
site, yeah,
yeah.
and we're coming in, things like that.
All right, Dan?
How is the brick revenue coming in?
Great, great.
It is.
So I think, what did we sell? Is there,
We're pretty far over 100, I'd say roughly 150, give or take. They're coming in almost every day. We're trying to give a little bit more of a push before we go out to bid, so we have an idea as to how many we've procured ahead of time. But a lot of them are the bigger ones also, so it is doing very well.
and then we have to remember that we talked about this building committee doing a brick.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
do that.
getting a lot of bricks.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, anything else? Anyone else?
Do you reach out to contractors beforehand? Have you talked to any, Chris, or just to see if any people are interested and work with their schedule?
As it gets closer, we would, reach out to our preferred contractors just to make sure they're aware, don't miss the advertisements. I haven't had any calls recently from contractors. Sometimes they hear the rumblings or see the article in the paper and they'll proactively reach out to us. So there hasn't been a lot of that, but I would venture to say you'll have quite a bit of interest in this project.
Okay. Need a motion for adjournment.
So
So moved. Second.
Okay, we are adjourned.